You know
last
what, man?
episode, baby.
I was gonna say this is the last episode, man. That's crazy. I was just getting ready to say this is the last episode of 2021. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's been a good year, well, not for all NBA teams, but for the most part, it's been a good. It's been a good
year for no pump fakes.
Yeah, for no pump fakes. It's been a great year. Man, 2021 is really about to be over. There's been a lot of great basketball though. In all seriousness, had some dope and fire guests on the show, dope and fire debates and conversation on the show. But it is crazy, you know what I'm saying, that the year is really ending. You know,
I know.
It's like shit, but it actually might be a good thing considering like everything that's kind of happened. You know, it's
with COVID and stuff like that ramping up.
Right. We've had better years as human beings, but you know,
we've been dealing with this COVID since what 2012.
That COVID ain't no joke. That COVID ain't no joke.
Peeping over the year, but yeah, it's been a good year. Definitely no pump fakes. A lot of great guests, great debates. Crazy. We only started what 6 months ago. Yeah.
So and it's gonna get even crazier in 2022. You know,
definitely.
I already know. But even as the conclusion of 2021, it's also someone's birthday today, right? And it's only right that we wish, LeBron James a happy birthday.
One of the GOATs. Happy birthday to the king.
GOATs, one of the greatest players of all time to ever dribble a basketball. His overall contribution to the game has just been crazy and phenomenal to say the least. But it's crazy as he celebrates another birthday where he's at in his career from a basketball perspective. Doesn't really look like he himself personally is slowing down anytime soon.
No.
I think today is just a good day to just show even more appreciation, of just the longevity of his overall career. So happy birthday, Bron. You know what I'm saying? I hope you have as much wine as you possibly want. I hope you watch as much Space Jam as you want and really enjoy it, man. Obviously entering the league as a fresh out of high school. Like, I was thinking the other day, man, like, as the longevity of LeBron's career is crazy, but, like, LeBron high-key is old enough to be a grandfather. Like, when you really think about it, like, it's like, yo, and to know that, and he's still playing at such a high level, it's like, yo, that's actually wild when you, like, really kind of put shit into perspective. So, I don't know, man.
It's crazy. 37.
It's crazy.
37 still playing like an MVP candidate. It's crazy. Like a healthy LeBron has probably been an MVP candidate for most of his entire career. That's just crazy. Even at 37 years old right now. I know Lakers are struggling right now, up and down, but it's just like, hey, they were talking about Steph Curry in a play-in situation. He was finished top 3 in the MVP, so we might as well get that top 3 finish for LeBron too. You never know, but
hey,
it's crazy though. It's crazy. 37, still at the top of his game, still arguably the best player in the world, if not the best to some people's, at least top 3. Probably not going to find 3 people better than LeBron James, maybe 3, but who knows. But it just depends on how you feel, but it's special. Happy birthday to the king.
Facts. And even going off that, man, I told my mom I would shout her out on this episode. We were talking, and she was like, Theus, how come so many people are making a big deal about LeBron playing the 5? Like, what's the big deal of him playing the center? I'm like, well, Mom, when a team isn't playing that well, you got to make adjustments. And the fact that LeBron is able to play literally any position on the basketball court is just a reminder of like, yo, this brother is not normal. He's special. The fact that you can kind of plug him in anywhere on the basketball court is just wild. So and again, going into his 37th year of life and doing this, right? Like that's amazing to a 23-year-old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To know that, again, it was a year 19 and all that. So just overall his versatility and being able to play different positions on the court and thrive, right? It ain't like, all right, LeBron, we need you to play the center and just chill or just protect the rim. Like, he still has to, do everything really on the court. So, but man, I mean, it's just special to see.
I'm definitely glad you said thrive, because it's just like, it's different for me playing 1 through 5 on the basketball court. And like you said, chilling. Like, LeBron plays 1 through 5 on the basketball court, and he's effective at doing it and playing it at a high level, elite level, even at the age 37, which was playing the center position for the Los Angeles Lakers. So, like I said, to me, he's one of the GOATs, the greatest all-around player this game has ever seen. Play 1 through 5 on the basketball court. Offensively, he also can guard 1 through 5, and especially in his prime, defensively as well. I don't think it's a more complete basketball player in the history of the game other than LeBron James. So shout out to LeBron, shout out to the king. Hopefully the Los Angeles Lakers, they can turn their season around. I expect them to. But I guess we can get started off of that. You know, this end of the year, top 5 teams top 5 in the seeding for each conference. We look at the Eastern Conference right now. There's the Nets, the Bulls, the Bucks, the Heat, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like who stood out to you most so far in the first
all,
half of the season?
First of all, shout out to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I know, they're not the first team you mentioned, but shout out to the Cleveland Cavaliers because very few people, if any, probably had them top 5 or whatever at this point in the season, if at any point in the season. So shout out to them. But Brooklyn, it's crazy to see where they're at, and this has all been without Kyrie Irving, and he's back. So yeah, good luck. Like as much criticism as people have had about that team, whether it's been James Harden, and even KD, as great as he's been playing, the KD haters are gonna exist forever. But even despite all that, and obviously the Kyrie criticism has been on and off. But even after everything that has been said, where they are in the standings, it's still like, like they're not 10th. You know what I'm saying? They're not. They're crazy. Not only are they a playoff team, but they're up there. You know what I'm saying? So
that's facts, because it's crazy. Because I was thinking like the first month of the season, people were talking about James Harden. He's not this. He's not that. James Harden's not looking like the Houston James Harden. I'm like, he's coming off an injury. He's not in shape. Stuff like that. And then we seen like, all right, he got his time off because of COVID. Now look at James Harden. Now you're about to add Kyrie Irving coming back. And they only lost 9 games. Out of all the talk that was going on with James Harden, they were still winning basketball games. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't putting up 25, 30, but they were still winning basketball games and figuring things out. So like you said, like Brooklyn Nets, scary. When Kyrie comes back, even playing part-time, I think Kyrie has to be – he's going to probably make the Brooklyn Nets probably the title favorites, even playing part-time, which is crazy to think about. Playing part-time, you're still probably going to be the title favorites for most people. That's crazy. That's crazy.
For sure. And I mean, it's one of those situations where like you knew it was going to happen eventually. That and I can't even say that because then it makes it sound as if like they were playing terrible and then they started playing hot. Like they've been like playing like record wise. Like I guess Milwaukee could probably be a better example in terms of like they had certain games early on where it's like all right maybe they have the championship hangover or whatever, but like Brooklyn is here and they're only getting better by adding Kyrie. So again, good luck. I hope he goes off. Like I don't even hope he just comes back and just has.
He's going.
I hope he terrorizes. I hope he brings I hope
he's
a
hooper.
Right.
Yeah,
and I won't say that I feel like he has to remind people of who he is, but like it wouldn't hurt. To like all right, guys. Like I know I haven't played in a while, but just please don't forget who the hell I am.
His game is so pure. He can do everything on the basketball court, 3-level finish. Either hand, ambidextrous. Like, I don't think it's going to be a problem. We saw Brandon Knight come off the street, dropping 17. You know what I'm saying? This is Brandon Knight ain't playing in a while. He's another guy, like, why is he out the league? It's just like, it's crazy to think about. Isaiah Thomas, too, his first game with the Lakers. So it's just like, this is Kyrie Irving we're talking about. This is a top,
so if you think,
a top 15 player in the world, top 10 to 15 wise, whatever you want to put him. But it's just like, this is Kyrie Irving. Like, he's going to come out. He's going to be fine. And he's going to do what he has to do. It's crazy because they 23-9 this, and people are talking all this like, oh my God, it's insane. The Bulls though, what about the Bulls? They're the second seed, 22-10. Hey,
I am really really happy for DeMar DeRozan. Just because he's in a new situation, obviously with the Bulls, but he's winning now, and I think obviously the next step for him and that whole franchise as a whole is winning in the playoffs. Obviously, anytime that you've had a career where you run into LeBron James, that's very tough to overcome. But now, I mean, they look like they are a serious threat in the East. That whole roster, obviously, not just DeMar, but shout out to Zach, shout out to Zoe, shout out to Vucevic, the entire team. We've said it before. They've had one of the greatest off seasons throughout the entire league, at least this season. But they've, and it's working, right?
Yeah.
It's working, and I think that was the biggest question for them. The talent is there on paper, it's there, but will it work? And I think we have an answer to that question, and it's working.
I don't really have too much to say after that. I mean, hey, we kind of figured it was like, it was going to work. It was going to click. Like I said before the season started, like, we're going to be really good, meaning like possibly like the Phoenix Suns of the Eastern Conference. Like, yo, they get Chris Paul, they get one player. It's like, okay, they're making a run in the playoffs. I felt the same way about the Chicago Bulls. They got DeMar DeRozan. I was like, all right, listen, like they're gonna do what Phoenix did, but just in the Eastern Conference, and then possibly in the playoffs, we could see if they can go on an Eastern Conference Finals run, and maybe possibly even an NBA Finals run. So who else? We talked about the Bucks.
No,
Bucks.
I don't think we talked about the Bucks, did we?
We didn't talk about the Bucks. No. Bucks third seed right now. I mean, champions. Like,
it's so crazy because ironically enough, the NBA champions might be one of the biggest teams that have something to prove this season. And I know they don't, they'll never come out and say that publicly. But again, there's been folks that feel like, all right, they got it in the COVID year. Or, all right, just the overall last season, did it really count kind of thing. And it sucks, right? Like, to me, winning a championship is winning a championship. But I mean, they're not only are they a good basketball team, but I think, again, they're still fearless. And I think they all, it's crazy because I think their guys, like their best players throughout, I guess, their career have been in a position where they themselves have had something to prove, right? Like even with Giannis was not the number one pick. Giannis did not go, to one of the biggest, schools, universities out there. So like even having that chip on his shoulder, playing in Milwaukee, same thing with Chris and kind of flying under the radar, and to now being the guy that he is now. So I think, it's going to be another interesting one. It'll be dope to see, obviously, if they can play Miami some at some point in the playoffs. But where they're at now, it can get active.
Yeah, probably the best team. Still arguably the best team in the Eastern Conference to most people, especially if you look at offensively and defensively. And then it's just kind of like with Giannis, it's people could talk about Giannis. And last year, I've criticized Giannis in his playoff performance and stuff as well. But at the end of the day, like he's a champion. Like he is nothing. Like nobody can really say to like really affect him mentally, even when he's missing his threes or missing his free throws. It's just kind of like he's already did it at the highest level. So going to this playoff run, it's going to be like, all right, he may have a bad game, but it's just like, I dropped 50 in the final, shoot 17 out of 18 for the free throw line. Like I've done it at the highest level. So it's just kind of like once you already get over that hurdle, same with Chris Middleton. He got over that hurdle. Drew Holiday got over that hurdle. Like I don't really think it's going to be like they have something to prove. I think they're going to be more like get to the playoffs and be fearless. Like they know they already done it because it's just like, yo, we can do it again. Right. we already won. Let's do it again. So it's just kind of like,
and that's the thing with this team is that they're the only one that's proven it through chemistry, right? Like again, on paper, Brooklyn is here. It's same thing with the Bulls and all that, and both teams are having a terrific season. But in terms of guys that have proven it during the actual playoffs, it's them, and it really is just them in terms of winning, the championship in the Eastern Conference. Yeah. And again, that in no way, shape, or form does that mean that I don't think that Brooklyn or Chicago can do it, but just it's actual proof and a fact that they have won a championship together. So, but yeah,
Miami, 22 and 13. We know what they're about. Heat culture is real.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler's here. Tyler Hero's playing phenomenal.
I was just getting ready to say, you want to say Jimmy, I got to say Tyler. That's, and we talked about this year being the statement year, right? Was this the year that we're going to see, all right, can he possibly be like reach an all-star level, or at least do you see him potentially being an all-star, or do you see him being, just a six-man? And I think right now we are seeing like, he's here.
He's also, I will say this, he's also
too.
Yeah, he fits, and I'll say he's also in the perfect role with the Miami Heat. It's just kind of like, yo, coming off the bench as a six-man, like he's their best, creating off the dribble and just cooking and finding instant offense. So it's just kind of like not most young players have that role. For him to have that role and to be able to excel in it, it's just like, that's great, because there's some players on other teams, like my boy Cam Reddish into the starting lineup. People's like, oh, dropping 38, dropping 30. I'm like, yo, that's what I'm saying. Give certain players these minutes and opportunities. It's just kind of like you're going to see their talent. Same with Tyler Hero. Give him these minutes and this opportunity, you're going to see his talent. So I'm glad Miami Heat has Tyler Hero. I'm glad they're doing well. They're still dominating even though Bam has been out. PJ Tucker's been a great addition. They got Max, a sleeper shooter, another shooter coming off the bench, lighting it up. Hey, it's Kyle Lowry's out. They're still winning. It's just
Bam. And so like, with these COVID, health and safety protocols, a lot of guys are going to get opportunities. Yeah. Right. And that's throughout the entire league, as we're seeing now. Guys coming up through the G League, guys coming up overseas. And so now, even guys that are already proven, right? Yeah. Even though people already know how good you are, if now you were usually like the second or third option and now you're being asked to be the number one option, it's time to show up, which I think a lot of guys have done and will continue to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. So what number 5, Cleveland?
No, that we talked about. Yeah.
Well, all right. So I just want to say
You
one
kinda
thing
talked
about
about-
Cleveland
Go
too
ahead.
is that like they are to me the most surprising team in the league.
Mhm.
Just being honest in terms of it's not that I didn't think they were capable of being this high, but just I didn't think it would happen yet. Right? Like
Yeah.
they are a young, especially with the lack of Colin Sexton and all that. They are a young basketball team, but they want to win now, and I'm not mad at it at all.
Yeah.
I think the post LeBron area is obviously a tough one, and you lose a player of that caliber. But at the same time, they've accepted it, and they are like, all right, let's do this now.
Yeah.
You
Kobe
got
ultimate-
some, yeah,
Kobe's
yeah,
done
yeah.
He's a phenomenal job as a GM and like acquiring talent and stuff. He's what people thought David Griffin is. Say it just like that. People got David Griffin is like, no, not really. Like it was more so like LeBron. Like
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like people
Yeah.
you
It's
get a lot of
amazing
credit.
how good, yeah.
Yeah. You get a lot of credit sometimes as a GM that it's just like, all right, you got LeBron. It's like people try to say the same thing about Ty Lue. Like, all right, is Ty Lue a great coach? Or was it just like you had LeBron and Kyrie? No, Ty Lue is an excellent coach, no matter who he has. Like that's why the Clippers are still winning, and even though Paul George is out, they're still going to be competing. I don't think they're going to like win 6-7 games in a row or anything, but it's just like they're still going to win. Like, all right, maybe lose, maybe win, maybe lose, stuff like that. They're still going to be in contention when Paul George comes back because of Ty Lue as a great head coach and making adjustments and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I would even add Spo to that list too.
Of course,
in terms of being a great coach, because it's tough, right? Like there's no such thing as a great coach that's never had talent, right?
Yeah.
So I think they kind of go hand in hand. It obviously helps when you have LeBron James, the Hall of Famers on your team, but at the same time, there's been some coaches that haven't been able to
but
get it done.
GMs too, though. But GMs are able,
GMs as well. GMs as
able to
well.
acquire talent and stuff like that, even without having the superstars, and make their team have a playoff caliber team and work hard and grind it out and stuff like that. That's very important as well. That's why I shout out Kobe.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think though, in my opinion, it's a little bit easier to lower the bar for GMs because as a coach, you can just say like if I don't have talent and we're not winning, that's why, right?
Yeah.
Like
True.
very simple. But at the same time, if you have talent and you're winning, people are going to say, well, you have it now. So like they to me that kind of goes hand in hand. Like you can't really finesse in the NBA being a good coach with zero talent. Like that's just not about to happen. But GMs, I feel like you could probably finesse. Like if you're starting from scratch and just really get active, like all it really takes is like one off season, right? Like all it really takes is one crazy trade or one crazy signing as a GM, and your job is like, damn, he really finessed it. Now, usually, you know what I'm saying, it's built through an entire process, but like all it takes is one crazy hit to really separate yourself from the pack from a GM perspective. So
yeah, like you said, Cleveland Cavaliers shot out them.
For sure.
Biggest surprise this year. Surprised everybody. I mean, they got Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. A lot of people were questioning, like, yo, what are they doing? They're even me. It was just like, all right, you got all these front court players. Are you going to play them together? Yeah.
Yeah. Any more questions?
Yeah. Shoot. It is working. So it's just kind of like, even with Colin Sexton, it kind of sucks for Colin Sexton because he's been out because now we're hearing his name, in trade rumors and stuff like that. Because what happens is like when you're a young team and then you start looking at that chemistry and looking at, all right, we're winning without you. And unfortunately, I hope Ricky Rubio returns back to form because Ricky Rubio was having his best season. He was playing like the Spain Ricky Rubio. It's unfortunately towards ACL. That's going to hurt the Cleveland Cavaliers on top of not having Colin Sexton as well. But shout out to Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's see if they can continue this going in the second half of the season.
Yeah, and I would also say, too, to kind of wrap that up, is definitely shout out to Ricky Rubio, too, who was also, a part of that. I know we talked about the youth and the overall development of the young guys, but Ricky Rubio, being, a traditional point guard and just really setting the tone for that team. Definitely shout out to him, man. Hopefully he gets well as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, Western Conference.
Western Conference, Golden State Warriors, 27-7, number one seed right now.
Listen, I owe a lot of people an apology about the Golden State Warriors. I'm not going to apologize, but I owe them an apology.
You already did it.
Yeah, but
You gotta keep going down. And not everybody's right. You're wrong sometimes.
I don't even think
happens.
Damn, did I even have him in the playoffs or the play-in?
No, you didn't.
It's all good though. I don't run from my takes. I said what I said. Shit happens.
Yeah.
Shit goes left. But yeah, Steph is a bad man. We Ben knew that, but yeah, I mean that team is, and the crazy thing is, they don't have Klay Thompson.
Or James Wiseman.
Well, right. But shit, it's so funny. Like you can make the case that the two best teams in the entire league don't have their second or third best player. What the hell is happening?
Yeah. That's scary to think about.
That's scary to think about. That that's a conversation. I guess I want to ask, since we're talking about it, which team do you think needs their player more? Do you think the Warriors? Well, let me not say need, because I mean, hey, you
yeah,
the number one seed in our conference. I don't need. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get you. Like who needs? Yeah, Clay or Kyrie? I definitely would say.
I don't know about definitely. Whichever one you say. I don't know.
No, I would definitely say the Golden State Warriors. The reason why I say the Golden State Warriors because I feel like in the playoffs when things get tight and teams start really blitzing Stephen Curry and stuff like that, and because of half-court game, you need another player that can knock down shots and have the defense have to worry about. Because to be honest, if you're in the playoffs right now and there's no Klay Thompson, I know Jordan Poole is playing phenomenal. I know Andrew Wiggins playing phenomenal. But let me tell you something. If I'm a defense and I'm a coach, trap, blitz, Stephen Curry, if they beat us, they beat us. If Andrew Wiggins making shots, if Jordan Poole's making shots, you'll live with that because you're like, all right, you know what? We'll take those odds.
Right.
But you're not going to take those odds with like Klay Thompson on the basketball court, because we know what Klay Thompson's about. Hit 3 shots in a row. He's liable to go off for 50. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like, that's why I would say that Klay Thompson is definitely more needed for the Golden State Warriors than Kyrie Irving, because I still feel like James Harden and Kevin Durant, arguably the best player in the game. James Harden, when healthy, is still anywhere from a top 5 to the 10 position of the best NBA players in the world. So it's just like he can be as high as 5. Sometimes he can be as high as 3 if he got it going. But it's just like he's still a legitimately top 5 to 10 basketball player in this world when he's healthy. So it's just kind of like, definitely would say that the Golden State Warriors need Klay Thompson more than the Brooklyn Nets need Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, and I would say too, at some point you kind of just tip your hat to those other guys like Andrew Wiggins and Jordan Poole. Like you say, Steph Curry ain't gonna beat me in the playoffs. All right, cool. But if you got a night where, let's say, Wiggins goes for 30 or Jordan goes for 25, hey, at the end of the day, they still NBA players, so you kind of just accept it. But yeah, so I would say the alternative is Kyrie, and it's like, obviously when you have James Harden and Kevin Durant, you got two guys that can play ISO ball, but we know what Kyrie can do come playoff time, right? Like we know that like when it matters the most, Kyrie gonna show up, right? Like you say what you want about him off the court and all that, but like when it comes to playoff basketball or just like being that guy, like all right, put the ball in his hands, go to work.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Take me home. Take me home.
Take me home. We don't need no damn X and O's. We don't need no.
Yeah.
All right, well,
take me home.
Let's get a high. Pick and roll. Ball screen. We need a hoop, Kyrie Irving. Can you go please score the basketball? No problem. Yeah. Very simple. Very, very simple. And that's not the same thing as being a great scorer. It's really not. Like the idea of just saying, this is the fourth quarter. And I'm not even just talking about that one shot in the finals that everyone likes to bring up.
No. Yeah.
There is a difference of just being like, yo, shit ain't working. Everything else is going left. The series is tied 3-3. Whatever the case may be, go win us a game. And it's crazy because you got Kevin damn Durant on your team, so he don't even really need to do it. He don't really need to, but he could if like that was the situation. And I mean, again, there's very few guys who I feel that way about in terms of like, all right, everything else might not be going the way you might have planned, but his name is still Kyrie Irving, and we know what the hell he's capable of. So I would say Kyrie, but again, going with Klay, I feel like it's not a wrong answer. Like it's still a guy who, what I'm saying, could get high at any given moment, and he's still a champion. They both are. So
second team in the Western Conference, 27-7, also tied with the Golden State Warriors for the first seed. Right now, at this recording, the Suns.
Let me tell you something. 27-7 is a damn good record.
Yeah.
Like that is a very good record. Health and safety protocols be damned. That is a very good record. And shout out to Devin Booker for joining the 10,000 club. That's a huge milestone. 25 years old is definitely impressive. 27-7 is pretty damn good, man. Like I don't think people really understand like how consistent you have to be to like keep that. And I was talking to my man, shout out to my man David, who's a big Suns fan, but like they are winning the games that they're supposed to be winning.
Yeah.
Right. And that is a huge step when it comes to the regular season. It's not just about being good. It's not just about being talented, but winning the games that you are supposed to be winning. Right. Like you want to lose to, some talented teams. Like you lose to the Warriors. All right. It's the damn Warriors. Right. But beat the teams on your schedule that should be a guaranteed W and move from there. And that's what they are doing. And again, they are fearless, which salute to them. Salute to the Suns, man.
CP3.
They feel like they belong here. They don't feel like last season was luck. They don't
Mhm.
feel like, it just so happened we made it. No.
Yeah.
We made it, and we're gonna try our best to make it again. That's what I see.
Got chemistry. They got all the same guys pretty much back. Chris Paul got a contract extension. Mikal Bridges got a contract extension. Like everybody is like happy, other than DeAndre Ayton. But
Hey,
hope he get his bag. Hope he get his bag next summer. I think the chemistry matters. Like they're here. So
and I'm gonna say too for DeAndre, man, we rooting for you, man. And the reason why I say that is because with all this, winning basketball and guys are playing well.
Yeah, go get your money.
Go get your money. I don't want that to be left under the table. I don't want that to be forgotten.
Yeah.
Hopefully you secure your bag, King. For real.
Utah Jazz, 3rd seed, 25-9. I mean, I don't really
these
have
are
too
some
much
good ass records. What the hell?
Yeah.
All right.
I
saw him, but when you hear him out loud.
I don't really have anything much to say about the Utah Jazz. I mean, it's the same thing I've been saying for 3 years. It's just like, all right, you're a regular season team. I know you're going to be top 1, 2, 3. You're going to be in the top 3. I already know that. So it's just like, what are you going to do in the playoffs when it matters the most? Unfortunately, I feel like the same thing is going to continue to happen with the Utah Jazz. Great regular season team. And then in the playoffs, I still think they're going to be a first or second round exit. The reason why I believe that is because Rudy Gobert is he's a good center. He's a good player. Is he an all-star caliber player? I mean, for his position, you got to have somebody play the center position, get selected to the all-star game, sure. But in reality, it's just kind of like that's not the second option you want on your championship caliber team. It shouldn't be Donovan Mitchell, and then you got to go to Rudy Gobert, especially if his game is not predicated on anything offensively. It's defense first. So that's my problem with Utah Jazz. That's why we see Jordan Clarkson in the playoffs got to be their second best player. So Utah, if you want to really wake me up, go out and get somebody that can actually be the second star and pair next to Donovan Mitchell. Because right now, the combination of Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert works in the regular season, but in the playoffs, we know what's probably going to happen. Facts.
And I can't even really say too much. I just immediately thought of how would Donovan Mitchell benefit if he had a player like Chris Paul, like Book has? Would he not even just reach the finals, but would we see him in a different light?
But even a second star, it don't even got to be a point guard.
Right.
What if he had a wing player? What if he had a Pascal Siakam? Just something something. What if he had a guy, a Karl Anthony Towns? You know what I'm saying? The pick and roll game.
But you know what? I'm gonna say something, right? And I love Spider, right? But I'm gonna put even more pressure on him. And the reason why I said, and it's not his fault. If they go out and lose in the second round, I know for a fact it will not be his fault. But at some point, right? We talked about it to start this season off. Who's going to be that guy from the pack that really separates himself from it, right? And at this point, there's nothing that he himself can do, right? In terms of overall adjustments to the team. Rudy done got his bag. So, he's there. But can he be not just the number one option, but can he himself lead that team to, let's say, the Western Conference Finals? Because to me, even if they make it to the Western Conference Finals, that in itself is impressive. Because that means they'll probably have either be in the Warriors or the Suns, two teams who we just acknowledge have great records. But even in saying that, again, love Spider, I think what he's doing is phenomenal given who his, overall second scoring option is. But can he take that step where it's all right, enough with me being compared to people that are 25 and under. I want to be in a slightly higher tier. Maybe is this the year? And is he in the Dame convo? Is he in the Embiid convo? Right? Because I know we like to separate and put him with the Tatum and the Bucks, but can this be the year? And again, his playoffs in the bubble was nuts. It was crazy.
Him and Jamal Murray.
Right, but if it can result into a dub, right? If it can result into, you advancing even further into the playoffs, can we have that talk?
Yeah. I mean,
just saying.
Just the Jazz are the Jazz to me.
Right. Again, the Jazz are the Jazz, but
I just look at a situation where I look at the bubble and I saw Donovan Mitchell going crazy, going 50, 45, 50. It's just And he had to do that for them to even almost win the game. And they still
Yeah.
lost the series.
Right.
So that's to say, I feel like he could drop 60 this. He could drop 65 and they still,
all right.
and they may lose, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. The Jazz, they have a good team, a great team in the regular season, but like in the playoffs, we know like role players going to be role players and stars going to be stars. And that's what separates like their top two guys from the rest of these teams' top two guys. Because like, if you're looking at it on the outside, looking in, it's just like, you look at the Golden State Warriors, Clay and Steph, Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker and Chris Paul. Even the Los Angeles Lakers, they're down, but like Anthony Davis, LeBron James, like their top two guys, Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert.
But even in saying that though, because I hear you, right? There is a difference between regular season basketball and playoff basketball. At the end of the day, talent definitely helps. But I can't sit here and fully accept the fact that a team that's been playing that well during the regular season all of a sudden just can't get it done during the postseason. And hell, they've
got history,
right? They have history, but I'm saying they've also ran into, some pretty good, good teams. I mean, Jamal spazzing like that, and even though Donovan did as well, I mean,
who did they lose to? They lost to Paul George beat them boys by himself, and Kawhi was out. And Paul George beat them boys by himself.
That's what I'm really hoping to see a change.
You know what I'm saying? Beat them boys by himself. That's what, and I'm so glad it happened because Paul George really got to remind folks like who the hell he is. Like, yo, when he's the number one option, like, yo, I'm still Paul George. I got a signature shoot for a reason. Like, come on now. Like, let's put some respect on my name. Like, so that's what I'm saying about the Utah Jazz. The playoffs is just a different beast. Here's another surprising team. You talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers, but like, the Memphis Grizzlies, 22-14 right now, the fourth seed right now in the Western Conference.
I'm happy for that market. The team, yes, but I'm happy for that market. And we're seeing a lot of teams, obviously play well that's in smaller markets, but Memphis for a very long time has lacked like a true like superstar. In terms of just numbers wise and statistics,
media coverage,
right? Media coverage and all that. Right? They pride themselves
notoriety.
Right, exactly. They pride themselves on being a grit and grind team, which I, as a fan, appreciate and I respect. But to now kind of see Ja, lead the way and help continue to put and keep that team on the map. But now again, the same situation as Spider, right? I know people, come playoff time will say, well, who's the second superstar? Well, again, if he feels, again, going back to the top 5 point guard, if we feel that he can elevate himself into a different category tier, well, keep it up, right?
I mean, that's when that jumper flowing. That jumper flowing, he looked like the best point guard in the world. Like, he's literally unstoppable. Like, and I'm not saying that, like, I think it's other point guards better than Ja Morant, of course. But when that jumper is falling, like, what you going to do? You can't stop it because it's just like, you can't go on the screen, it's wet. Yeah. you try to push up on him. He's blowing by you. He's dunking on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you try to blitz him. He can find an open man because he has passing vision. Like, he's really, really unstoppable. And I like it because I like Ja Morant because, like, he reminds me, he's not like a Damian Lillard. He's not like a Stephen Curry. Like, in an era where point guards are scoring, shooters, lethal, just jumpers, crazy. Like, he reminds me of like the 2000 kind of guards. You know what I'm saying? Like Allen Iverson, even like Derrick Rose and stuff like that. Guys that like crazy handle, passing visual, smooth on the basketball court. Even Russell Westbrook to a certain degree as well. But it's just kind of like he's cut up that kind of cloth, which makes it nice to see and refreshing to see. Like, we just have another point guard that's just like focused on shooting 30-footers all game.
Yeah, and I mean, his team rallies around him too. They've definitely shown the support and overall trust in him, as well as obviously the city as a whole. But just like they believe, and it's so good to see like players and teams not give in to like the standings or rankings or projections of where other people feel like they should be. Like Ja is a perfect example of that. Like, he's going to hoop regardless. All right, cool. Y'all think I'm an all-star? All right, cool. Y'all don't think I should be mentioned? I'm going to hoop regardless.
You can control. You cannot control your circumstances. You got to take advantage of them, and they're taking advantage of it. Lakers playing bad. Anthony Davis out, not their problem. Clippers, hey, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George out, not their problem. Dallas Mavericks, Luka Doncic, Porzingis, Luka's missed a lot of games. Hey, not their problem. It's just like you got to do what you got to do at the end of the day.
I ain't got to do a damn thing with me. So, who we got at 5?
Fifth seed. The Nuggets, 17 and 16.
Damn, was this another team that? No, I had them higher. I had them high. Jokic, top 5 player in the world, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the injuries that team has had. No Jamal, no MPJ.
It's crazy.
And, I had this conversation recently. And this isn't a comparison thing. Well, actually it is, but I don't care. Who on paper, injuries included, has a better roster right now? The Nuggets or the Lakers? And it really makes you think of like, well, damn, maybe Jokic isn't getting the attention that he properly deserves.
Yeah.
Like, he's a very bad man. I know we talk about him, whether or not he's the best big man in the league or the best true center in the league or whatever. And he's to me, he's not still a true center. But just the idea of like where he ranks in terms of bigs of, Embiid, Cat, Bam, all that. But the real conversation is where he compares into the overall landscape of the entire league, right?
Yeah.
Like he's a bad man,
Some people think he has an argument for best player in the world.
I don't think I would go that far, but
no, I'm just saying some people, especially fans in Denver, but some people feel like maybe not a best player in the world, but maybe like top 3.
Yeah,
closer to top 3 than 5.
And I hear that. I really do, especially considering what he's working with in terms of his overall teammates and injuries and all that. And being able to be a top 5 seed in the Western Conference. I mean,
it's levels, but
right, okay, it's levels. But I mean, you lost out on a guy who's capable of scoring or has scored 50 in a playoff game, and you lost another young potential superstar in MPJ, and it's like he himself hasn't missed a beat, and keeping that team afloat. Exactly, he's doing everything he can.
He's a floor riser, man. It's just like you gotta give him credit when credit's due.
These are facts.
He's passing, rebounding, scoring. He does everything for that. Controls the pace of the game. He does everything for the Denver Nuggets. Like he's special. Like I don't even know what position you could really put Jokic in. Like we look at the dual 4 position. He kind of does that because he does everything on the basketball court. You look at the center position. It's just like all right, he plays the center position, but he also like plays the point at times. Like he's a point
everything,
center.
Yeah.
He's like he does everything on the basketball court. So that's why I don't even like. He's the only big man in terms of like when defense. People talk about like defensively and stuff like that. They look at the analytics. He's improved defensively, but like I know like doing the eye test, like all right, stop it. But at the same time, I look at Jokic. It don't matter. When you're responsible to do all that. It's just like, I can't, you know what I'm saying? It's like he's one of those players. I look at him because I always look at the 3, 4, 5 position when it comes to like defense, more so than the 1, 2 position. But I give Nikola Jokic like slack on that side of the ball because it's just like, you're missing your 2 best players. Like you're responsible for doing everything. Like you gotta be at your best on a nightly basis, not just scoring, but rebounding and passing and controlling the pace of the game, just for your team to have a chance to win. It's not just like winning games. Like they're fighting for their lives every time they go out on the basketball court for a chance to win. And the fact that they're still the 5th seed, and you got other teams with other guys with probably better rosters, the Lakers. I look at the Minnesota Timberwolves. You got Carl Towns, Anthony Edwards, D'Angelo. Like they should be higher. It's certain teams. Like I look at the Los Angeles Lakers. Like I look at the Dallas Mavericks, Porzingis and Luka Doncic. You guys should be higher. Like I understand COVID protocols, people get hurt and stuff like that, but it's just like, that just shows you how impressive what Nikola Jokic is doing. It's just like he doesn't get the respect he deserves, but we gotta shout that brother out because he's special, man. Looking for an easy New Year's resolution? Make your goal to double your money and get a head start with MyBookie's deposit match bonus. All you have to do is use my promo code No Pump Fakes. That's right, No Pump Fakes. When you sign up and get your initial deposit doubled up to $1,000. With the extra dough in your account, you're ready to bet on the biggest games of the week. And MyBookie is hosting an exclusive odds boost on this year's Cotton Bowl between the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Cincinnati Bearcats. Both offenses have lit up the scoreboard this season, and MyBookie is making the over and even more attractive bet by lowering the total on points scored. Both teams are top 10 in points scored per game in the nation. So get to MyBookie today. Take advantage of the boosted odds this bowl season. Don't drop the ball. Double your first deposit up to $1,000 by using promo code No Pump Fakes. That's right. Promo code No Pump Fakes. Head to MyBookie, place your bets, and ring in the new year with a win. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Indeed. You got some. All right, you got some mailbag.
Yes, I do.
Mailbag. Got some questions on hand. Got some questions on deck.
Let's see.
Let's get it going.
Got
some Q&A. This is the last episode of 2021.
All right.
Do I feel like pissing some people off? Or do I feel like, yeah, why not?
I'm clicking on profiles too because I'm not trying to. Let's see.
Why not? Minimum of 100 followers, guys. Minimum. You don't have at least 100. I'm not a clout guy, but we can't have no spam. Actually, you know what?
Marcus too fresh. Joe Embiid will win the MVP and get the Sixers to a top 4 seed in the East.
No. I don't know if I'm supposed to say cap or no cap.
I don't know.
And you know what's funny? This is one of those questions where, again, it has nothing to do with Joel Embiid. For me, it's more of like, do we not see what Stephen Curry is doing? Like, his brother just hit 3,000 threes for his career. And then, like, the Warriors have the best record in the league. So, like, you combine those two things, not just the 3-point record, but just the idea of, like, he's playing well and has the best record in the league.
Yeah.
Bam. That's his case. And that's just one guy. But that's just one guy. Love Joel Embiid. I think what, Philly is doing, without Ben Simmons is, much respect. But when you look at the other players that might have the opportunity to win it, it's like, well, only one person can win it, right? It ain't like, I'm not saying that Joel Embiid ain't an all-star or whatever, but if we're talking MVP, as in solo, as in one person, I got to go with the other brother from Under Armour. So,
yeah, I don't see that happening. I don't even see a top 4 seed happen with the Phoenix Suns. I told you before the Philadelphia Sixers. I told you before the season started, I was just like, I wasn't a big believer in the Philadelphia Sixers. It's just kind of, they had the perfect opportunity last year to go to the finals, and he still didn't go to the finals. So, a follow up to that question, Nick, Embiid, Jokic, watch the games.
all right. First of all right. So that's a statement. I need like, and I know what I'm saying. You're not saying that, but he just said Embiid, Jokic, watch the games. So first of all, all right, you know what? If you click his profile, does he say like a location? Does he say, like who he's rooting for, or like, been a Nuggets fan since 2008 or something? Is there is that type of vibe? Because I'm not mad at it if you feel like, all right, it's a watch the game thing, but don't just say this person versus this person, watch the game. I'd rather be told like you're wrong or I disagree with your statement. Like, how the hell am I supposed to know who you rocking with? Like, like I have no idea. So is it a follow up from?
No, I can't really see his account.
Yeah, okay, well,
but yeah, I mean, he says, hey, that's just. I guess that's just how he feels.
Well, all right, cool. If that's the case, I can say it about anything. I can just pick 2 random teams, watch the games. All right, cool, good analysis. Like,
I guess he's talking about eye test. I guess he's trying to say the eye test.
Right, but I'm saying though, whether he's saying eye test, who's better record wise, who plays better defense, we don't know. You're just saying 2 names and then following up with watch the games. What kind of?
I think he's talking about the eye test. That's what I'm thinking. When most people say watch the games, he's talking about I think I can really probably vouch for. He's probably talking about the eye test like on the basketball court. Like, who's the better player? Like, most people are gonna say the Joker, of course, but he's saying like to watch the games. Like, Joel Embiid does everything offensively that Nikola Jokic can do, except for pass. But probably like defense is probably where you probably got to get the edge to Joel Embiid over.
Okay, sure. I mean, you can have that debate because you know what you just did, Ahmad? You made a statement. You chose a side. You acknowledged what the hell you wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's what that's what's going with.
All right. But for all we know, it could be the exact opposite. For all we know, he could, who knows? But I hear you though. I hear you. To this person, I hear you. I'll make sure I watch the games just for you.
Here's another from Josh Perry. Give me Trey over Dame. That's just what it now.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, you go ahead.
No, it sounds like he's about to say that's a hot take or that's a statement.
No, I'm just saying. I don't. What do you? Hey.
All right. What's his person's name again? I want to make sure I
Josh Perry.
Josh Perry. All right. I'm not mad at it. At the end of the day, Trey is fresh off winning. I mean, period. He is going. He just went to the Eastern Conference Finals. And I know how I get down. I value winning more than 99% of things when it comes to debates and choosing players and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, Trey is special. I mean, anytime you're able to put up that type of, scoring average as well as assists and stuff like that, I mean, it's crazy because I think from a veteran standpoint and the fact that Dame has done it longer, people might go with Dame, but I mean, I'm not about to sit here and say that a guy that led an Atlanta Hawks team that a lot of people slept on to an Eastern Conference Finals and say he's crazy with that take. I'm not mad at all. It's Trae Young at the end of the day. Like, yeah. And
yeah, I don't have too much to say. I was with that last year. I mean, we've seen it this year. It's just kind of like, I think Trae Young just does a little bit more on the basketball court offensively when we're talking about the responsibility of scoring and passing, controlling the game better than Dame. And as lethal as Dame is, it's just kind of like he's an ultimate floor riser. Doesn't matter the roster. Like, normally he gets his team to the playoffs. Now, this year has been a struggle for the Portland Trail Blazers, but I really don't want to hear. I don't even really like having conversations about Portland or Dame anymore because I felt like you made your decision. Live with it. Like, I don't, like, he came out saying, like, keep talking about the same stuff. Like, oh, I don't want to ring chase and stuff like that. That's not what I really value. All right, cool. Just lose. Like, we don't, I don't, it's like, I don't, and it's like he's a little frustrated. It's just like everything he's done. And the Blazers media is kind of talking stuff like, yo, but everything he's done for that city, he's, like I said, he's the ultimate floor riser. Like, no matter the team he has each and every year, he normally brings them to the playoffs. He's that special. He's that great of a player. But it comes a point where, like, I don't even want to talk about it. Like, we know where you stand, so lose. That's your choice. Like, I get it. Like, you want to bring a championship to the Portland Trail Blazers. Like, you feel like you don't need a ring, this and that. Okay, so lose. So it's just like when I see other teams and other players where, like Trae Young, like taking teams to the Eastern Conference Finals and having success, and people start having these conversations, that's probably what's going to start irritating Dame because he's going to probably looking at it like, damn, I've been doing this for a while, but just because now I'm not winning now people are saying this player's better than me. This player's better than me. And that should make Dame.
I mean, I hate to break it. I hate to break it to anybody, but you know what cures that? Winning.
Winning, yeah.
Even if you're like, whether you say you're a numbers person or a stats person or just, you had to face. Well, if you win, and this ain't even to Dame, this is just in general. When you win, everything else goes out the damn window. It ain't you know what I'm saying? It ain't difficult. You win games.
I don't feel it's I don't feel bad though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't.
You know, I don't feel bad.
Like, it's like it's kind of like I don't know. I don't even like talking about the Portland Trail Blazers. What are we talking about? We're talking about a team that's probably going to be in the lottery this year. We're talking about a team that kind of had a lot of spasmodic energy towards CJ McCollum having his name out on trade rumors and stuff like that. And it's just like, then he got hurt and now you're not really trying to trade him anymore. It's just kind of like, and people talk about Dame, but CJ McCollum's been a lot to that franchise as well. He's been right alongside Dame. So it's just kind of like, hey, that situation is in Portland is not the best situation, but it is what it is. So let's get to the next one. Mr. McKnight. Chicago Bulls have 2 top 10 players right now.
Ooh. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Wow.
Don't agree, but that's what I'm talking about.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, there we go. That's what the hell I'm talking about. You want to get active?
Which one?
You want to get active, say some shit.
Somebody
like
top 10. Which one? Because one of them top 10 this year. Which one, Theus?
All right, say what this person said again. Say what Mr. McKnight, the full statement. Because he
said, Mr. McKnight, Chicago Bulls have 2 top 10 players right now. Fire emoji.
Right
He's
now.
sticking to it. he ain't pump faking. Fire emoji.
At all. I'm not mad at it. I would say DeMar if I had to choose one. 2 top 10 is tough. Like, yeah. And okay, and if he's saying right now, based off this season alone, like if you went off, MVP candidates or whatever, 2 is tough. So I throw Zach in there. Woo!
A 1A, 1B combo special. Like, that's a true 1A, 1B combo. Like, yo, you go, I go. I can give it to you. You can give it. Hey, it's special.
Trust.
2 is
But,
crazy.
That's
Two
what
may
I'm
be
saying.
crazy. It's hard.
I'm not denying either one of their talents and being,
yeah.
But you trying to sneak 2 in there. I ain't mad at it. You feel me?
Yeah.
But
I'll say this though. I'll say this deal is based on this season, both of them should start in the All-Star game. And yes, one should be starting. Both should, like, if you have Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, I think both should be starting this All-Star game. Forget all that, like, oh, you gotta have a point guard.
But
based on this season,
well, that's what I'm saying.
based on this season, both should be starting it at the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Yes, over James Harden.
I was gonna say we'll probably say that for another episode, just because it'll probably be more relevant All-Star stuff. But I mean, I'm definitely not mad at the take. I mean, you got 2 talented guys that are the second seed in the conference. That's not.
Come on now.
It's not wild. I'm not mad at it at all. I don't know. I just
we gotta wait. We gotta wait a little bit more.
Man.
We gotta wait a little bit. We kind of gotta watch see the month of January.
Yeah, but honestly, no. Based off his question, I won't wait. I won't do that to him. I'll answer it because he.
No, I was talking about like the All-Star. I wasn't talking about the top.
Yeah.
Nah. I'm gonna say no, but it's tough.
Damn, do I? I'm gonna say no, and it sucks because anytime a question like that happens, you got to think about the other 9 guys, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good one though. I'm not mad at it at all, and I want this person to know it was a McKnight. This ain't an easy answer. Like that Embiid thing with the MVP. All right, dub. But this one, I wouldn't be mad at someone thinking that they were top 10. I would not. I would not be mad at it.
It's crazy, and we got to get a little bit more spicy. This is a follow up. K1 Athletics. This is another Bulls question. I think the Bulls can legitimately make a run to the Eastern Conference Finals. And oh, by the way, DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, better duo than Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Neither one of those are crazy takes.
Wow.
I'm saying, look at the.
Wow.
I mean, okay. All right. So let's break down what he just said. I think that a top
First
2
one's
seed.
not a crazy,
right. I think that a top 2 seed can make the Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
That's not a crazy take. Now I get it because that ultimately might mean they have to beat
the Bucks or the Nets.
From Milwaukee. Sure, but at the end of the day, listen, if you're a 2 seed, I'm not going to say here that you're surprised that you made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, if they win the finals, all right, hey, shit, that okay.
I think the spicy take with they're going to the finals.
Well, again, even that, I can't sit here and say it's spicy, like OD spicy if you're the second seed. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that I think they're going to win it. I'm not going to sit here and say that.
At the same time, I can say
spicy. Come on.
Yeah,
now.
At the same time, I can say that because, like, let me tell you something. I was confident. The Utah Jazz had number 1 seed. I was confident. They wasn't going to the finals. That's how, you know what I'm saying? So it can be a little spicy because I knew damn sure they wasn't beating certain teams.
Another thing, too, is like the timing of when he says it. Had he said this in the beginning of the season, oh, shit, yeah, I'm with you. Okay, that's spicy. Okay. But you can't say that when you already past Christmas, you know what I'm saying, and, you the 2 seed. Now, again, I'm not here to disagree with the take, but, like, if you want to use the word spicy, I'm expecting, like, DeMar going to average more points than KD when they match up. That's getting active. That's taking a step, you know what I'm saying, towards danger territory. But, and then to the second part, the Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they're better than those 2. I mean, you're talking about 2 All-Stars in DeMar and Zach. So again, like,
Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown was starting the All-Star game last year.
Agree. But I'm saying though, that's not, and I'm not saying whether I disagree or agree just yet. But in terms of like, oh shit, this dude came guns blazing. Now, had he said they're the best duo in the conference, shit, we might have to have him come on the show for crying out loud. Like that's something that's like, all right, do I think that they better than Kevin Durant and James Harden? Let's pump the damn brakes. But I mean, what seed is Boston, right? And again, love Jason, love Jaylen, but numbers game. That's not a crazy take. That's not like that's
still
not something.
Though. It's still a take that worth having. Like I don't know.
It is. We can have the dialogue. We can have it. But
I don't know, man. Like
I done heard some things in both of our mailbag segments. I done heard some things where it's like, all right, are y'all watching the games, or are you saying this just to spark some shit up?
Yeah.
But
no.
I mean, all right, DeRozan or Jason Tatum, right? Zach LaVine or Jaylen Brown. Like neither one of those are like, oh shit, like it's definitely one of the others. Yeah. In my opinion.
Let's say about this one. I can't really. XXDJ. This was, I guess, his name. Man, I feel like this is. Anthony Davis is one of the most overrated players in the league.
Oh, man. You know what, Anthony Davis? Yeah, I mean, y'all should know damn well I'm not about to say a player is overrated. But yeah, like
Anthony Davis is one of the most overrated players in the league.
Okay, fine. Disagree. Cap. But I will say this though. This was supposed to be, and obviously he's injured right now, but this was supposed to be the season, and it still can be for the record, y'all. But this is supposed to be the season where AD really, really, really proved to everybody that he was that guy. There's been constant conversation between AD versus Giannis, and if AD could be the best player in the world, and if AD could be the best player on the championship team, and all these different things. And I never said for one moment that he could not be those things. But it has to happen. And again, the injuries, health and safety protocols, all those different things.
I'll be honest.
Overrated is stress. Overrated stress. Let's
Yeah, I'll be honest though about
down.
the whole. I get so annoyed with like the Anthony Davis, Giannis. Oh, people, those takes were down and this and that. People have a tendency to forget about like timing when we were having these conversations. 2019 to 2020 season, yes, I was taking Anthony Davis over Giannis. I thought Anthony Davis was a better player, but things change. So to sit up and say like, "Oh, you had that take a couple years ago," like things change. It's just kind of like things like COVID. Like we were in COVID. We start getting vaccines. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like you can't just base things off of like, oh, once COVID, the world before COVID, before vaccine. Now you're making a choice. Are you getting vaccinated or are you not getting vaccinated? But I'm just saying things change over time. So people that love to say like the whole, those takes were bad. Those takes were really bad because I've seen, like I said, the 2019, 2020 NBA season and the bubble, I saw Anthony Davis be Anthony Davis. So it's just kind of like, but based on right now, I think it's disheartening because for an Anthony Davis fan, a guy that supported Anthony Davis, I think it's disheartening to see what's going on with Anthony Davis because I see LeBron James at 37 years old playing the center position. And I see Anthony Davis go and play the center's position. It's just kind of like he doesn't really want to do it. But I see a player at 37 years old who's shorter than you, who's shouldn't even be, it's LeBron, so he's still, I'm going to say he's in his prime. I don't know what LeBron is. I can't even, if he's in his prime, he's not in his prime. I can't.
Who the hell knows? Who knows?
I don't even know. But like, Anthony Davis, you're supposed to be in your prime. Like, you're supposed to be dominant. And it's just kind of like, this season, even though you're averaging 23 and 10, it's just kind of like, it's not as impactful. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people put up numbers and stuff like that, but are those numbers impactful? And right now, this season, like his play hasn't been really impactful. So I'm not going to say he's overrated,
right?
But I'm going to say this season, his play hasn't been impactful.
But and the thing is, too, I think the reason why we both feel this way is because we know what AD is capable of.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we know that he can be a generational kind of guy. And so, hopefully, we see more of that. And this season, he can still be that. Right? That's the crazy thing. Like, all it takes is another crazy playoff run to remind folks who the hell he is. But he just has to, again, go out and do it. That's what all of his, kind of comes down to.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's
all right. So
solid.
who we gotta do cap or no cap? Woo! I was about to say it's the final one. It's the final one. 2021. Cap or no cap?
Yeah, or we can pick our
Oh. Damn, this is a setup. I'm gonna ask it anyway. Cap or no cap? The Lakers will finish with a top 4 seed in the Western Conference. Will they figure it out?
It's crazy because I want to follow up on this question as well. I got to follow up.
Please do.
Cap or no cap, the Lakers will finish as a top 4 seed in the conference. I'm going to say cap. I don't see it. I don't see them finishing the top 4 seed in the Western Conference. The reason why I don't see them finish a top 4 seed in the Western Conference because it may not do them any good. They need to work. They need to focus on probably making sure they're not up in a play-in situation, meaning that they need to focus on getting that 6th seed. I think that would be like you got to probably focus on getting that 6th to 5th seed. You don't want to be in a playing situation, but I don't see them being as high as top 4. I really don't.
But that's so crazy though, because then it's like they're playing to save their life as opposed to like living their life, if that makes sense. Like it's almost like they're playing to like make sure they just make the playing game as opposed to like working their ass off to get like home court advantage. You know what I'm saying?
So they don't. You don't want to be in a playing situation. We saw last year.
Of course, but I think it should be more of like you want home court advantage as opposed to you don't want to be in a playing game. Like,
I think they want people healthy. I think that's the Lakers.
Yeah,
they want people,
yeah.
and they want to develop some type of chemistry with the roster they have. I don't know who's going to be here either. I'll be honest. Like, trades can happen, buyouts can happen. Like, I put it like this. I know Anthony Davis is going to be here. I know LeBron James is going to be here. I love Russell Westbrook. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think it should be any scenario. I'm on record. I don't think it should be any scenario where they trade Russell Westbrook. I don't believe that should happen. But at the same time, I don't know what's going to happen. I know certain people are safe, but as of right now, I just don't know. Like, those two people are LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I feel like you got Reeves is going to be a part of your rotation. You got Stanley, the guy that, what's his name? Stanley Johnson. Yeah, Stanley Johnson. Yeah, he came in. He did more than a lot of the Clint Bizmore, Jordan. Like, he did more than even Avery Bradley. Like, like, I feel like I think he's gonna get signed for the rest of the year. So it's just like for role players, they got a couple pieces, but I don't know this. It's just like I don't know what that team is gonna look like. I really don't know. So to say a top 4 seed, they're gonna do this magical turnaround where they're losing to teams they shouldn't be losing to. I don't know this. It's
and that's the crazy thing too, right? Is like we're saying the Lakers, but we don't really know who the hell is gonna be on that team 2 months from now. So it's like, that's not even just from a health and safety protocol standpoint. That's just from trades and just,
buyouts
signings and all that. Yeah, like right. who? I don't know, man. But as we say this on LeBron James' birthday, all hail the king. So who knows? Who knows? One thing that I've learned.
So I want to follow to the cap or no cap, and then we can get out of here. Who's your sleeper team to make the NBA Finals?
Wow, who is my sleeper team to make the NBA Finals?
Based on everything you know, based on everything we've seen, regardless of the situation, who's your sleeper team to make the NBA Finals?
The Memphis Grizzlies. First of all, remember you using the word sleeper. So I can't say Brooklyn.
You could have said the Lakers because that's right now.
First of all,
they damn sure they don't look like they going to the finals.
First of all,
so they could have definitely been a sleeper.
First of all, a couple things with that statement.
Yeah,
one, as a fan of Los Angeles Lakers, I'd be damned if I sit here and say they're a sleeper.
What are they? Because they sure not no contender.
And number 2,
damn sure ain't no contender.
Number 2, I'll be damned if I sit here and say that a team with LeBron James and Anthony Davis are a sleeper pick to go to the NBA Finals. What the? No. Standings be damned. I'm not about to sit here and say that, oh, yeah, it'd be an upset if we got these 3 top 75 players on one team.
You asking me if they're going to be a top 4 seed in the East? That should have been like a dub before the season started.
But again, I can't say sleeper. That's not like. There's no such thing as LeBron James being on your team being a damn sleeper.
I mean, you gave a good one. Memphis Grizzlies.
That's a sleeper.
Definitely a sleep. Not even a sleeper. I'm dead because ain't no way in hell that happening.
I'm saying though. Okay, but just think about it. I mean, just the math in a way kind of works out. Like, and again, I'm not saying they're going to do it, but by definition, sleeper, they are the number 4 seed, right? So that means automatically they would have home court advantage, and they'll be playing a team in Denver, right? Just based out how the current standings are right now, who has, they're missing their 2 of their main guys. So let's say they beat them, right? The second round, they go up against the Golden State Warriors. Now, right now, I have the Warriors beating them, but let's not make it seem like the Warriors beat them on their home floor in the play-in game. And again, I know that's just one game, but we've seen what Memphis can do when it matters most. So now, right, if we make it to the Western Conference Finals, you matching up against who? What? The Suns. Now again, I still pick the Suns against them, but now you made it that far. Who knows if momentum carries them to the NBA Finals? I'm just saying, based off your question, if you want to talk about sleeper pick and if all the pieces kind of match, Who the hell knows? Maybe Ja just gets amped up and just plays out of his mind. I mean, and I can't see a team coming out of the East who realistically I can see by not naming the Bulls, the Bucks, or the Brooklyn Nets. Like who? And I can't say that Miami is a sleeper. You got a big three with 3 guys who've been to the finals. I'm sticking with Memphis, man. I'm sticking with Memphis. It all lines up. It ain't a.
I'm dead.
Right.
Like,
well, that's the point of a sleeper. You're not supposed to be extremely awake.
The Atlanta Hawks is my pick. Sleeper.
Okay.
The Atlanta Hawks.
Now you would.
The Atlanta Hawks.
I was stop. All right.
Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks. You talk about what? No.
Okay.
They got a better chance of going to the finals in the Memphis Grizzlies.
I do not know about that.
Yes, I do.
So okay. So you saying that you think that they could beat the Bulls, the Bucks?
I'm saying Trae Young almost beat the Bucks. Trae Young almost beat the Bucks last year. If he didn't get hurt, they would have probably went to the finals. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, cool. What's more likely to happen? The Atlanta Hawks beating a fully healthy Brooklyn Nets team, or the Memphis Grizzlies beating a fully healthy Warriors team?
The Atlanta Hawks beating the Brooklyn Nets team.
Okay.
And the reason why I said that because I've seen like during the regular season where they had all 3 of those guys, the Hawks were still here. Because the Hawks you understand, like it's not always about like, of course you got the players' names and stuff like Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, but it's also about like style of play. Who can match each other's style of play? Like I've seen the Atlanta Hawks, they can go slow, they can go fast. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that's very important come to playoff time. Like it's a reason why I stood up and said I looked at the Chicago Bulls and I was like, all right, the Chicago Bulls, I would rather them play the Brooklyn Nets. I would rather them play like a team that's going crazy offensively instead of the Miami Heat or the Milwaukee Bucks because I feel like certain styles won't match up. Hawks, they can play a bunch of styles, bro. Fast, slow, bro. It's serious in Atlanta. Don't sleep.
Right. Oh, I'm not asleep. I'm just saying, if anything, I can play devil's advocate and say that
they went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year too.
That's my point. That's my point. You picking a team that was 3 games away from the finals.
But look at them now. This is a new year. This is a new year though.
I'm
what
just going based
right
off
now?
the question.
They lower than the Memphis. They the 8th seed.
These are facts. So all right. So what you saying? Okay. So what you saying right now? You think that a sleeper team could beat the Brooklyn Nets in the first round? And I know that's not your prediction to say that they're going to do it. But do you think the Brooklyn Nets could lose in the first round to the Atlanta Hawks? Let's talk about it.
The Atlanta Hawks may probably be the set. I think the Chicago Bulls are more likely to do it. Let's say the Chicago Bulls get the 2nd seed and the Atlanta Hawks is the 7th seed or the 8th seed or Chicago Bulls is the 1st seed. I think the Atlanta Hawks can beat the Chicago Bulls in the first round.
Okay, cool. I'm asking about the Brooklyn Nets though. Do you think that they can beat the Brooklyn Nets in the first round?
Listen.
Oh, yeah.
Listen.
Bingo.
Listen. We don't know what's going to happen with the Kyrie Irving playing part time. We don't know how that form is going to work because you got to understand, like, one day you're going to have all your 3 best guys. Another game, you're not going to have all your 3 best guys. So you never know. Like teams, the way they're going to probably view like certain games against the Brooklyn Nets, they're going to be like, yo, we got to win the games where they don't have their 3 best guys. So we got to make sure that we know that, yo, those games we winning. So they're going to have a different type of like mindset because they know like, yo, that's almost an advantage too. People keep talking about like, oh, having Kyrie on the road games and stuff like that. Their best 3. It's almost an advantage to the opposing team because they know that, yo, this game they got all 3, this game they got all 2. You know what I'm saying? What if you gotta go against 2 out of the 3 best players on the team on one game? That's odds that you'd rather have, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like people keep talking about like, oh, like the Brooklyn Nets gonna be dangerous on the road because they have all their 3 players. But what about the teams they gotta face? It's just like, yo, like we only gotta play Kevin Durant and James Harden, even though it's Kevin Durant and James Harden, but it's just like, you know what? That's not Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie.
I was about to say, yeah, that's what they're thinking. Oh shit, it's only Kevin Durant, James Harden. Oh shit. Okay. Okay. 40 balls might have you chop the people head top for thinking like that.
Hey, I love James Harden. I love James Harden, but I think it'd be a bigger difference if one was playing. And I think James Harden's a better player than Kyrie Irving. But knowing Kyrie's playoff success in history compared to James Harden. Like one guy's proven at the highest level. James Harden he's had success, but not the most success in the playoffs. I think it would be different if you had Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, 2 out of the 3, and James Harden playing part-time. I think you'd be like, okay, a little bit less nervous. But
And that's
like,
so crazy, yo. They got all
Yeah.
3 of them.
yeah. Yeah, man.
That is that. Oh man, that is.
That's what I'm
dangerous.
telling you. That's when frustration is gonna start to happen with the Brooklyn Nets. Don't be
That is-
surprised because when you start getting into like moments, especially in the playoffs, where it's like, damn, like why can't we just have everybody? Especially if you start losing. Especially if that first round matchup is 7 games. Especially that second round matchup is 7. What if they go into war each and every game and they just like, damn, like some of these games we probably could have closed out a little sooner, but we're having more wear and tear on our body in the playoffs going later rounds because we don't have all 3 of our players.
So you're saying like if they start looking over their shoulder, like, man, we really could use some help.
Bruh, chemistry in the playoffs and everything. You start like, damn, like this. You start thinking like this shit really crazy. Like, yo, we
over here.
we every day we playing every game. He playing 2 out of 7 games in the series. Like, shit. Yeah, people think like people aren't human, bro. Like that happens in the locker room, bro. Tell you.
Yeah, I'm gonna say they're human beings. It's but hopefully that doesn't happen. But yeah, y'all, it's been a great year, 2021. Just like that, y'all. We gone.
Have a happy new year.
Facts. Have a happy new year. We'll see y'all 2022. Peace. What's up, y'all? It's Theus McBee. Make sure you go follow No Pump Fakes on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you listen to your podcasts.